I'm Eric Staszak with Westward 360, Executive Vice President responsible for marketing and business development. And with me today, we have Jessica Goodman. Jessica, would you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, my name is Jessica Goodman. I'm a Senior Community Association Manager in the St. Louis, Missouri market.
Excellent. Jessica and I, along with a number of other folks, were part of a delegation of team members from Westward 360 that attended CAI's National Conference and Expo Community Now earlier in June, the first week of June of 2026, down in Hollywood, Florida. And today we just wanted to recap some of the biggest takeaways, lessons, and thought-provoking items that came out of the Expo, and how we might be applying those to how we do business here at Westward 360. So Jessica, were there any particular themes or topics that really stood out this year that you found particularly impactful or thought-provoking for you as a senior community manager?
I really have enjoyed the overall theme that CAI has had this year with the love where you live, love where you work, because that's certainly a really important element of the business that we do. People are very passionate about their homes, and we want them to live in communities that are not just looking good, but that they also feel connected to with their fellow community members. So the themes within conference that really focused on developing that sense of community, I thought was a really important reminder to what our mission is.
That's excellent. I think it's a kind of an undersung, but sort of obvious thing that we should be pushing for in this industry, given that what we are is community association managers. But I think often, whether it's at conferences like this or just the day-to-day of the business, that sometimes the business and the rigmarole kind of gets in the way of a lot of the things that both customers, homeowners, even ourselves are looking for out of this industry. So I love that. Did you find any particular, whether they were sessions or conversations with peers or anything like that, that kind of went along those themes, or something that really stood out on those topics that you found particularly worthwhile, or something that inspired you a bit?
Well, the two sessions that really stick out in my mind that I attended were about insurance and reserves. In the insurance session, the brokers that were presenting were explaining what they look at as they're putting together their quote. And they did a really great job at explaining the more details that we know about the community, the more that we are helping them. So to your point of, we often get caught up in, kind of the day-to-day work that needs to be done. And it's really healthy to take a step back and remember that, our goal is to serve the overall community. So they spoke about how just because the association might not be responsible for maintaining the air conditioners doesn't mean that we shouldn't give our boards the guidance to still ask about those elements. So because the more information we have about preventative measures, the better it looks on the application for insurance companies. And in doing that, we're providing an additional service to our homeowners. So maybe they just haven't thought about having their air conditioning line checked or cleaned out, and us prompting them to do it would help avoid an issue in the long run. And maybe if we're helping, organize that on a large scale basis, again, even though it's not necessarily the association's responsibility to do it, we're encouraging people to stop and look at the maintenance that needs to be done in their community.
I love that. I think that's a really great takeaway, just because it kind of makes the outlook a lot broader, like less specific, that you're only interested in the common elements and only interested in helping out, the board directly, but looking out for the community as a whole. Because I could even imagine with some of those, the refocusing on some of those elements that might be homeowner responsibilities. In my experience, they're often looking for that kind of guidance and being able to eke out, hey, we learned during this process for renewing and applying for our updated insurance package that there are some tips and tricks, or there's, certain maintenance requirements that the insurance company is recommending that homeowners take on. And then we can be the ones that shed a little bit of light on that and just bring some value add that, even though it's not, a contractual part of our agreement, it's something that we can do to help better the community, get more homeowners bought into the need for some of those preventative maintenance measures, especially since they impact the community as a whole in many cases.
Yes, exactly.
So that's great. I'm glad you found value and were able to attend some of those. Finally, I know you kind of alluded to some takeaways that you found value in that particular session, but we like to kind of talk about those biggest takeaway first action kind of things. So whether it was from those sessions or any other conversations, meetings, or just time that you spent at the expo over the course of those 4 days, what are, is there one or are there a couple of first takeaways that you were like, I'm going to implement this into the way I work, or bring it up with leadership, or implement it some way into your day-to-day work life?
Yes. Two takeaways that I had that I'm going to implement right away was the first was with reserves. The program that I attended on that spoke about how to counteract those board members who very much look at conducting a reserve study as an unnecessary expense. Why would I put all that money into it? Why do we need to be putting all that money away? I'm not going to be here in 20 years. So that conversation ahead of the reserve study, even explaining, that this is a part of your community maintenance, and it's hard to see. We live in a world of instant gratification, so it's hard to see that that is going to help add value down the line by investing in that now. And the other was in regards to recruiting board members, in that at your annual meeting to kind of share a job description of what the board does, how much time they put in, and just to communicate with all of the homeowners, this is the work your board does. They are volunteers. This is what they put into it. This is what's required of them. Because many people volunteer because they know somebody's needed, but they don't really understand the role. And if they had a better understanding of the role or the time commitment, they may be more open to joining down the road.
That's awesome. I love that theme and that recommendation, and something that we can definitely and easily implement here at Westwood 360 for this year. This was unplanned, but this is a nice opportunity for a bit of a shameless plug for a couple of education sessions that we'll have coming up a little bit later in the year. So one on reserve studies. Folks can look out for an invite for that to come, but we will be doing a session July 21st with a partner of ours, Reserve Advisors, to talk about some of those importances of reserve studies, clarifying that this isn't an unnecessary budgetable expense and something that really should and will in many states start to be required to help shape some of your capital planning. So we will have invites going out for that. And then later in the year, as we get towards annual meeting season, we actually will be conducting some trainings around board job descriptions, the primary tenets and responsibilities, and trying to clarify those things so we can make community members kind of understand and do away with some of the misconceptions about what board membership looks like, what some best practices are. So well timed. So for those viewing, do look out for opportunities that we'll have shared via email invites in our social media very soon for both of those sessions. But more than anything, Jessica, thanks so much for sharing your insights about the expo, what you enjoyed about it. It sounds like it was really a valuable experience for you, and really appreciate you getting to share this with some of our customers and potential future customers.
Thank you.
Awesome. Final thing, Jessica, remind us of your involvement with CAI down in the Heartland chapter as well.
Sure. I serve as the program chair with our programs committee. So we organize all of the educational sessions through the year. I also serve on the membership committee and with MOLAC, which is the Missouri Legislative Action Committee.
Wonderful. So you have a very full plate of involvement in the industry just outside of your day job. So we are very grateful for that. Folks that are in CAI Heartland's purview, either in Missouri or Kansas, look out for Jessica at the next event that you guys might be attending, or if you're getting any of the messages about upcoming events, educational opportunities. She's very instrumental in a lot of those processes just via the involvement that she just mentioned. So thank you again, Jessica. Really appreciate you taking the time today. And have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you. You too.